Well, hello students, this is Mr. Tong. This is the revision for your reading question type. We're going to look at a very common question type, that is the find a word or find a phrase, okay? I selected some of the examples from previous DSE exams. So you see here, we have find a word in certain paragraph. Usually it could be in certain paragraph or multiple paragraph that means a certain word, okay? It's the same for the 2013 one. Find a word in paragraph 4 that means another word, okay, or another phrase. Or it can be said like this: find a word that can be replaced. It means that they have the same meaning. The last two questions, okay, find two words in paragraph 4 that have similar meanings, okay? They all means that you are going to find a word with similar meanings, or that's what we call synonyms. Of course, there's something that I did not mention, which is that the examiners can actually ask you find a word with the opposite meaning. For example, find a word with the opposite meaning of joy, and the answer could be unhappy in the paragraph. So, we're going to look at some basic skills. How do you do these questions? To be frank, these questions, many of them are considered easier questions. Of course, there are some difficult ones, but from time to time, they are getting easier and easier. So, whenever you look at this question, you need to see, is the examiner asking you to find a word or a phrase? Very simple. For example, apple is a word because you only have one word, right? A phrase is more than one word. For example, yummy apples. Okay? Then this is two words. Or more than two words, 3 or 4, they are also called a phrase. Then you need to see, is the examiner asking you to give a word with similar meaning or opposite meaning? As I told you, maybe you need to find a word with the similar meaning of joyful. Then you need to look for example, happy, right? But if it is the opposite meaning for joyful, then it could be unhappy. So pay attention to this. And the other one is a relatively difficult, not difficult, but very key component whenever you do this question. The answer must be of the same parts of speech. Okay, if you don't know what's parts of speech, they are usually the nouns, right? The adjectives, like happy, nouns, the apples, right? The verbs, like do, and also the adverbs. Okay, adverbs are things that with ly, okay, quickly, okay, beautifully. Of course, one of the word fast is the very few adverb without the ly. We don't have fastly. The last tip is that we need to see whether you want to replace the given word or phrase in the question with the possible answer. So just put your word or your phrase in a paragraph to see if the meaning fits. Okay? By the way, I need to also mention that for the same part of speech, if that part of speech is a verb, for example, in the paragraph, the verb is in past tense, right? For example, did. Then you are also looking for the answer in past tense. For example, okay, completed. Of course, they are not of a very similar meaning. Then they must be in the same tense if this is a verb. For nouns, very simple. If the noun is in singular or plural, they must also be the same. For example, if you're looking for apple, then the answer should be without the s, right? Without the s. Then if the given word is apples with s, then you need to find one in maybe with the s, but you know it's in plural, because for some of the answers, for example, children, it does not have the s, but it is actually a plural word. Okay, I think you all know what I mean. Now we're going to look at some very basic question types. These two questions, if you want to do that, you can pause the screen, all right? This is relatively difficult, so not very easy for a warm-up one. So if you want to do that, please pause the screen and I will let you do it. And in 5 seconds later, I will give you the answer, okay? You can check the answers. Okay, the first one is creativity. Okay, I'm not going to explain a little more. The second one is monochrome. They are quite difficult. Judging from the statistics, not many students could do that, so we'll skip to some of the questions. They are more likely what you will find in the coming reading exam for your term exam. So here, how about we take a look of this question. So in paragraph 4, we need to find a word. Number 1, we need to find a word. So we are not going to find a phrase. We need to find a word that can be replaced. So we are finding a word with similar meaning that can be replaced by put. So what is put? Is it a noun, a verb, an adjective, or adverb? What do you think? Well, actually, it is a verb. And when it comes to a verb, we need to think about the tense. What is the tense of put? Well, if you think that this is just simple present tense, you're correct. It is simple present tense. Simple present. But at the same time, it is also simple past. Right? It is also past participle. So this time, we can't really figure out which tense we are looking for. Basically, we need to find out all the verbs in the paragraph. So how about we go to the paragraph? Can you help me find out all the verbs? Okay, let me give you 10 seconds, or you can pause the screen. Then I will highlight some of the verbs. Okay, let me highlight some of it to you. For example, exploded, okay? You say thinner highlighter. Exploded, written, invited, speak, talked, came, struggled, reconnect, tucked, tuckled, say, alright? Come, fine, okay, talked about again, slip letters, writing, there were love letters hanging from the trees. So, from a filling in the blank, okay, filling in the blank with one word, now you're actually doing MC question, right? You need to find out one. The answer is one of them. So, something to pay attention to for put. We know that it can be simple present, it can be simple past, it can be past participle, but it can never be ing form, right? Because we have putting. But here, we see some ing, meaning that we don't need to think about them. They are not going to be the answer. And I believe that judging from your common sense, I think you all know what is put, right? Put down your pen. We hear that every single time when we do exam. So put is not say, right? Put is not find, right? It is not come, it's not talk. Just use your common sense. You know some of the words, okay? Just put this away. We know what is invite. We know what is write. Okay? We know what is reconnect. I think you hate your computer if it says reconnect every single time. Okay? Then remember, one of the skills is that you just put the word put into some of the answers here. Okay? Can we put the word put here, or here, or here, or here? Let's take a look at it. Writing random letters to strangers has now put, okay, a little weird. Came back from the war and they put to reconnect, okay? The wife put love letters. Oh, okay, it seems like we can put something down or put something. Put love letters, okay, letters, we know what is letter. Okay, how about the last one? She talked about a university student who put letters. Okay, we put letters as well. Okay, it seems like only these two verbs are connected to a thing, okay, an object. So actually, for this question, this is a DSE question, mind you, this question, you can use tackled or slipped. Okay, is that all right? So this is how you do this kind of question. Now I'm going to give you some more samples so that you can do it yourself, okay, students? So you can pause the screen from time to time to see this question. I will just show you these questions, and then for every 10 seconds I will write the answers. Okay, for example, for these questions, we have yums, right? Because this is related to delicious. Okay, and for the other answers, let me see. We have Moorish, right? How about this one? I think this one would be quite easy. Strongly recommended. Let me give you 10 seconds again. Okay, so we find a word or a phrase. So this time we don't know, but we have strongly recommended. With strongly, ly, we're looking for something with ly as well. So one is with ly, and this one is in perhaps past tense or past participle, and they are strongly resembling. So the answer could be hotly tipped. Okay, how about we do the last question here for the end of our revision. Once again, I give you 10 more seconds. Okay, so seen everywhere. It is this ubiquitous. Okay, because it says that it is in between the crack of stone walls. It is in park. It is in street planters. So these behemoths, the trees, they are seen everywhere. We can see them everywhere. Okay, for significant, it is imposing, the significant presence, Okay, so if you want more exercise, you can go find your teachers. I believe they all have the resources. You will see these questions all the time, not just in this reading exam, so please practice this. These are some of the questions that you should get them right, because we have many more other question types and they are very difficult. For example, find a metaphor, what does it suggest, or find an irony. Comparatively speaking, these are already the easier questions. So please come to grips with these questions carefully. Thank you.